so much good. Affirm with me, come on. I'm in the right place, at the right time, with the right people to receive my good. Say it again. I'm in the right place, at the right time, with the right people to receive my good. Tell somebody nearby, receive it, receive it, receive it, receive it. Talk to them, receive it. Tell somebody, receive it, receive it. I'm already full to overflowing, and we're just pulling out of the garage. I've been working with, what do I say today? Rev E and I were talking, maybe we would do a little Ask the Rev and get some questions answered, and I've been toying with that a little bit. And Spirit gave me this message that I want to share with you today. And if it's all right with you, we may have some time. By the way, today we're going to have some fun. I'll just put it like that. Rev E and I have something special. By special request, we're gonna have a little fun. Let me just assemble here. Okay. Today I want to speak to you from the topic, a topic I've never spoken from since being here. But it is a topic that is known well in this spiritual community through its many, many iterations. Chris, I'm getting some feedback. Through its many iterations. In fact, I believe that this message is fundamentally the sustaining and grounding message that has allowed this community to transform and move itself through all of the historical changes that this community has moved through. And this community has moved through some changes. Over 100 years ago, it was a study group, a little group of people that got together who decided that they wanted to hold a light for the unity message here in California. And so they formed a group called the Home of Truth. And then life and time happened, and that community evolved, grew and changed some more, and it became known as Christ Unity Church. And then life and time happened, and Christ Unity Church became Unity of Sacramento. But there has been a consistent theme running from start to this very moment that I want to impress upon you today. So that if you're here wondering, I want you to hang on and hold on to this idea. The best is yet to be. Will you say it with me? Come on. The best is yet to be. Say it again. Come on. The best is yet to be. This notion of the best is something I want to center our thoughts on today, particularly, so that we don't give ourselves an erroneous idea that we've reached this pinnacle in the history of this ministry. We've come to this high point in our unfoldment as a community, and now we're going to roll back downhill somehow. Tell somebody the best is yet to be. That in fact it is what this spiritual community has been all about that has given us the ability to navigate through changes and transformation and things that are new. Yes? But let's look at this as it relates to ourselves. Because it would be more believable, you would be more convinced of this, perhaps if you can see and know that to be true for yourselves. We start out as individuals and then we are a collective, yes? And so individually, I want you to put this in the first person for yourself and just say it with me, looking at whatever is going on in your life, your world, and your affairs, and say out loud, the best is yet to be for me. Point to yourself. The best is yet to be for me. Come on. The best is yet to be. Come on. Give us some rhythm. The best is to be. Try it again. For. Oh, I think you're catching a little bit of that. Are you feeling it? Can you feel it? If you can't feel it, you don't have it. Did you hear what I said? If you can't get the feeling, you can't get the blessing. Tell somebody, I'm getting the feeling. Come on, I'm getting the feeling. Let's try it again. The best is yet to be for me. Come on. The best is yet to be for me. I think you got the feeling. Now, what is this best? Let's talk about what is the best. It literally means of the most excellent, effective, or desirable type of quality. The most excellent, effective, or desirable quality of life is what we're saying is yet to be for, come on, me. Say the most effective, the most excellent, and the most desirable quality of life is yet to be for who? For me. And so when we're talking about the best, we're talking about coming into this place where we recognize that there is still room for me to grow. Did you hear what I said? Who thinks you're done growing? Raise your hand. Just out yourself. Do you know the greatest room there is in the world? The greatest room there is in the world is the room for improvement. And you and I always have an open and standing invitation in the room, to the room of, for him, come on, improvement. Why? Because we are not, and I want us to get this, because sometimes we actually come to believe this, we are not stagnant beings so that you start to get used to yourself. Have you ever gotten used to yourself? And you think this is all that you are. And so you look at yourself in the mirror and you know, this is my hairdo. My hair doesn't go any other way. In fact, the hair has gotten used to being brushed to the side. Have you noticed? A certain way. And your cheeks form a certain way, so when you put your blush on, it knows exactly where to land. Who knows what I'm talking about? The clothes fall in a certain crease just because they know that this is going to fit you. Come on, talk to me today, folks. And we start getting used to ourselves, and we start getting set in our ways. Uh-oh. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying to you that having certain ways of being as a habit and as a norm is wrong. But I'm saying we want to make certain that we don't allow that to hold us from what the presence has for our lives. I read in one of these Facebook memes, don't put a period where God has put an ellipsis. Now, ellipsis is an expensive Morehouse word that means ... What did I say? Don't put a period where God has placed an ... It's not over yet. We've only just begun. So let's look at this for a minute. God is the knower, the revealer, and the finisher of your best. What did I say? God is the knower, revealer, and the finisher of your best. Listen to the word best this way for a minute. God knows you best. Different way. God knows your best. How do we know that? God gave you your best. And if God has given me my best, even when I think I am there, I can better my best yet. One of my mentors in Sunday school, he's a minister when I was growing up, he said, good, better, best, never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best and you always can better your best yet. What did I say? Come on, run it back to me right quick. You got it. Come on. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. And you can always better your best yet. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. And you can always better your best yet. All right, now run it back to me 3 times real fast. That the best of who you are, the best of what you are, is what we refer to here as your divine potential. And this is what the Spirit sees for you. The Spirit sees a best for you that is far beyond what you can even imagine. In fact, when you get a glimpse of it, you're going to be blown away. You're calling it your best, and the Spirit is saying you ain't seen nothing yet. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. What did God know about you? You are a unique way that the presence wants to show up and show out in this lifetime. Before I formed you, your pre-incarnate self, your pre-incarnate reality was as spectacular as the solar system is. As celestial and as mystical and as magical as that, you are a bright idea in the mind of Spirit, but you keep forgetting it because you're busy trying to compare yourself to somebody else doing something else when you are a once-in-a-lifetime unique event in human history. Did you hear what I said? Tell somebody, I'm a once-in-a-lifetime unique event in human history. Tell somebody, I'm a once-in-a-lifetime unique event in human history. Oh, you ought to feel a little bit better. So rather than preoccupying ourselves with comparing myself to the next one and seeking to emulate somebody else's something, I want to get in touch with that bright idea that God has on God's green board in God's mind of me. What do I look like in your mind, Spirit? What do you see for my future, Spirit? I want to have such a closeness, such a revelation, a connection that I'm a candidate for a revelation for my life. This is what the master teacher was trying to tell us. None lo here, nor lo there. The kingdom of God is within you. And what happens is we go to and fro, trying to put the pieces of the puzzle of our lives together, asking this one and getting advice from that one. Talk to me if you know what I'm talking about. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Oh, I knew that you were a solution for a problem in the earth school. I knew that you were an opportunity for the advancement of the society. I knew that you contained the unique encoding and capacity. Say encoding and capacity. Come on, encoding and capacity. That you contain the unique encoding and capacity to produce and reproduce something that would not have happened if you had not shown up in your unique configuration and packaging. And because of this, it is our job, our task, our assignment to be more interested in what this bright idea that God has for our lives is, rather than keeping up with the Joneses. Well, they got a new car, I'm getting a new car, but you can't drive. But they got one, and I'm getting one. Not going to let them have a bigger car than me. She got a new purse, I'm getting a new purse. Can't be at the prayer meeting without a new purse, and everybody else has a new purse. I don't have a new purse. Now, I'm guilty of this, though. I came here one day, and every member on my staff had a new car, including Jamar. And he had this gigantic truck, brand new, just shining. I said, well, wait a minute. And I'm coming here every day on this scooter that y'all got for me. I said, I'm getting me a new car. Forget that. Reverend Charles, Reverend Eric, Carla, Deb, everybody around, just new cars. I'm getting me a new car. What y'all trying to tell? Maybe they were subtly trying to tell me, it's time, Rev, it's time. Now, where was I before I got thrown off? So it's not about us being so involved in comparing ourselves to the next one or to keeping up with the next one, but I want to keep up with the still small voice of spirit that is always speaking. There is a broadcast going on in your life that is far more superior to Google. You can't Google this thing. Did you hear what I said? The answer is within you. The answers are within you. So I want to go within, and I want to hear that broadcast that's always speaking, that's always revealing itself. Say, I choose to be a candidate for revelation. Come on, try it again. I choose to be a candidate for revelation. A revelation is your soul catching an insight from the Spirit in a language and in a way that you can understand. You hear what I said? Your soul catching what? Come on, an insight from the Spirit in a language and in a what? Way that I can understand. The God of your understanding is not going to speak to you in the way that the God of my understanding speaks to me. Do you understand that? Rev Kev has this Oxford Dictionary vocabulary. So I know it ain't God if I haven't heard it in some language that I understand. Are you hearing me? But you will receive it in a language and in a way. Sometimes it shows up as, just a prompting in your spirit. It's like, oh, my gut is telling me. Whoever said my gut is telling me? I got a gut. This is God speaking. This is another way of saying voice of intuition is telling you what you need to hear. Whoever has ignored it, it's okay to confess and forsake. Who's ever ignored that voice? Come on, free your mind today. We did it yesterday at Unity Village. Revy and I were at Unity Village, and I accidentally grabbed the wrong bag, and it had somebody's package of things in it. And because all the conference bags look alike, you know what I mean? So I grabbed it, and I took it, and I put it in the trunk. We're on our way to the airport, and as we're headed to the airport, I realized, wait a minute, this is not my bag. This looks like somebody else's bag. I said, let me take this to the desk, the counter. There's a counter at the hotel that's on Unity Village campus where somebody could give it to the person it belonged to. Got it? So in my haste to go in and change clothes and get ready for the airport, I believed that I took the thing and put it on the counter. Get back in the car, say, Revy, did I take the thing on the counter as we're about to pull off? We're about to pull off, and I feel that prompting. Who knows what I'm talking about? Like, you left something. You forgot that moment. Why do we always tap our pockets, by the way, when that happens? Like keys, glasses, wallet, this sort of thing. So I phone. So I do this, and I say, Revy, did I turn that in? He says, I saw you turn it in. I said, okay, we can go. Drive to the airport, get there, take the bag out of the car, look in the bag. Lo and behold, the folder is right there, freshly undisturbed in my bag. But the Spirit had already told me what I needed to know, but what happened? I ignored that, prompting from the Spirit. What's powerful about this, and it's a great illustration for us to understand, the Spirit is always going to give us right guidance, no matter how close you are with somebody else. Did you hear what I said? Say, I'm asking the Spirit first. Come on, I'm asking the Spirit first, and then I'm going to follow through with what the Spirit tells me. The degree to which you and I keep relating ourselves to this voice makes us more and more candidates for revelation. More and more will flow through us, and you will grow in wisdom and stature. Not because you're smarter than a fifth grader. And that's hard to do these days. But because you are getting your guidance straight from the source. Somebody say to me, I get my guidance. Come on, I get my guidance straight from the source. We're going somewhere with this today. So our assignment is to awaken to and activate this capacity to live our best life, to be in pursuit of our best. And now that we know where our best comes from, it doesn't come from outside in comparison to somebody else. It doesn't come from what the world's idea of success is. It comes from and through Spirit flowing through you. And then that's the best that I am seeking to have revealed through me. How do you want it revealed? Through you. Because once you get it, you got it. And nobody can take it from you. When I was on my sabbatical, I had some time to really get still. I'm talking the kind of stillness that produces soul rest. Have you ever gotten to a place where you just needed some rest in your soul? Do you know that people sleep at night, but they don't rest? Have you ever sleep is not rest. Did you know that? Sleep is a physical function that can lead to rest, but if you don't turn your mind off, did you hear what I said? And you're not preoccupied with now what's coming next, the busyness of the next thing and so forth. You can be laying down perfectly asleep. You can have 8 hours of sleep and wake up rested. I got to a place in that sabbatical period where I got some soul rest. And inside of that soul rest, the freeway that is normally occupied with what am I doing next and what's the next meeting and where am I going next, and all of that was clear. And in that soul rest, I was able to speak to the God of my ability, the God of my understanding, in the most honest and authentic way possible. And I let God know how deeply affected I've been by any number of things. Pillars in our spiritual community transitioning, like my Reverend Charles, John Tibbles, people that have walked with me. The unremitting, the relentless attack on black lives, like that stuff has an effect on you. And we're out there marching and being arrested and meeting with everybody, trying to solve the problem. And it seems like for as many steps as we take forward, taking 10 steps backward. And I got to the place in my soul where I said to God, I don't know what I don't know. I said, yes, I'm willing to do this thing, but I don't know what I don't know. And I'm at the place where I'm banging my head against the wall, trying to find the next idea, the next solution, the next way to be a force for good in the world. Have you ever been to the point where you just don't know? Now, most of you already know, but I heard this statement. It's what you learn after you know it all that really counts. And so I opened myself. I opened myself to a revelation. And in that period, over a period of days, I would receive revelation after revelation after revelation. And in a dark room where there was no light whatsoever, these at about 3 o'clock in the morning, every morning, I was channeling I will just use it, a response from the Spirit. And I was writing all this down in pitch blackness. And so I knew it bypassed my intellectual consciousness, these things that were being said to me. And I feel very vulnerable in sharing this with you right now. Just notice that. I normally would share this with a very close group of people who understand. Not to say that you don't, because you probably do. And inside of all of that processing, I would wake up later and read what came through. And inside of that, I got guidance about going and learning more. You need to learn more. You need to go study some more. You need to get some more education, further your education, to just paraphrase it, because there's a lot said there. I returned back from my sabbatical, and enthusiastically, one of my dear friends And sometimes I get the sequence of this mixed up. So if it's mixed up, just say I get the gist of the story. One of my dear friends rushes back from an experience he was having at Harvard. He had just gone to study, and he was so eager and enthusiastic. He comes and he takes me out to lunch. Now, we've been friends a long time. He's never taken me out to lunch. He's come over for dinner where we made dinner and we prepared, but he wanted to take me out for lunch. He says, Rev Kev, this is kind of out of the blue. Rev Kev, there's a program that I has your name written all over it. Now, we're friends, but we're not the kind like Rebbe and I that spend a lot of time together. So somehow he got a prompting. Kind of way over there. Rushes to take me out to lunch and just pours his heart out about why I should be applying for this program. So I look at it and I do the reading and go through the programs. I said, wow, this sounds just like me. This is exactly what I'm struggling with. These are questions I want to tackle and get at. But it was at Harvard. I said, now don't you know? This was me talking now. I'm wise, but I'm not smart. You know what I'm talking about? Wise comes from the Spirit. Smart comes from, calculating and all. I'm pretty wise, but that smart part, I have a lot of smart people that work with me, though. I promise you. That's why I work. And a smarter wife. And so I go back in this process that I tell you about with some of this kind of anxiety around applying to this program. Have you ever, something that you dreamt of and desired or thought was great for you, just looked too big or too good to be true for you? Anybody ever see something? That's how it was when I saw Anita. I'm like, well, I'm going to go for it anyway, though. Worked out. You got to try. Come on, say it. You got to try. You got to give yourself a sporting chance. So I go back into this process that I was doing at 3 in the morning and getting these revelations, and this is what the Spirit said about applying to this program. I have opened doors for you all over the world. In fact, Spirit was speaking in the plural. We have opened doors for you all over the world. If you attempt to open a door, we have unlocked doors for you all over the world. If you attempt to open a door that does not immediately open, that is not a door for you. Because the doors I want you to walk through, we have already unlocked them. So I took my wise and not so smart self through the application process. And I released it. I let it go. And then we started just living our lives, birthdays, holidays, church, the usual stuff. And eventually, I got that letter. A day early. Now, when good news is supposed to come and they tell you it's going to come on a certain day and it comes a day early, it can kind of strike a little anxiety in you. Like, like if you've taken a set of tests at a doctor's office and the doctors let you know, we'll get back with you, within a time frame, and they call sooner than later, but wait a minute. That's not usually the news that you're looking for. They don't say, you know what, clean bill of health. It's usually, we need you to come in right away. Came a day early, and I happened to be by myself. And I opened it, and the letter began, congratulations. I was like, look at God. And this began this foray into me more and more and more doing what I am saying to you today. Being willing to be a candidate for revelation. And then once you get the revelation, follow through with the revelation, come what may. Did you hear what I said? Why? Because before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. I have dreamed up a bright future for you that you can't even imagine and you don't even think you're qualified for. But God does not call the qualified. God qualifies the called. And if you're willing to answer the call, God will qualify you along the way. That ought to be good news. You ought to be shouting and rolling around in the floor today. How many of you got that house and that you knew your credit score was 301? Talk to me today. You look straight ahead if it's you. Don't give yourself away. And God worked it out and qualified you for something because you were willing to move in league with the call of Spirit. And this responding to that call is what we call the evolving of your soul. We are here to evolve what has been involved. And involved in you are insights, revelations, and guidance that if I would be courageous enough to move in the face of what seems to be difficulty, I will have access to the blessing. This is what the scripture is meaning when it says, be you perfect even as your heavenly Father is perfect. The perfecting that we're talking about is like the seed becoming the apple. Do you get that? It is the being willing to go through the process. The being willing to accept that when I put the seed in the ground, that is not burying the seed, it's planting the seed. And that which is encoded and encased in the seed starts to have access to the environment that will lead out its shape, its color, come on, its size, and here's my favorite part, its sweetness. Say, God in me. Come on, God in me. Lead me through the perfecting process. Give me my right shape, my right size, my right color, my right sweetness. I am becoming that which the Spirit has prepared for me. I am besting myself. Lastly, and probably most importantly, and I say this to everyone, we have to learn to face and rise above those dueling voices of doubt and fear. Not that one, Chad. The dueling voices of doubt and fear. Doubt and fear. Are the same things that was with Jesus as he was on the cross. Two thieves he was standing in between. Doubt and fear. Do you really want to go through this? Do you really want to go through it? What's been interesting is I've talked to people. People have been excited about it. But then they said, well, but you must be doing this and you're going online. You're going to Harvard online. So there's no real Harvard online for this program. So you're actually doing it? I mean, like you're going to do the thing? You're really going to do the thing? As if to ask me to go, well, maybe, am I going to do the thing? But I stand up here for 12 years and preach to you that if you can come into contact with the word that the presence gives you in a message, and you can believe in yourself. I tell you for 12 years, and then it comes to my front door. And then all of a sudden I get filled with doubt and fear. What kind of minister am I? And so something said to me in the face of that doubt and fear, in the face of the seeming challenges and obstacles, I know that you have a plan, God. And I trust that plan with all of my heart. And I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to look. Do you understand that? But I've said to God, I will go. Hallelujah. I will go where you want me to go. I will do what you want me to do. You want me to stand in the middle of the street and say Black Lives Matter and challenge armed police officers in the face of my very existence? I don't know if I'm coming home. I've said that to my wife. Call the attorney. I don't know if I'm coming home tonight. But I'm sold out to this voice. I've said yes 24 years ago. And God has brought me to the place of another mountain, to the foot of another mountain. But like Jesus, if I go, I will prepare a place for you. And I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. I will make a believer out of me, and if I become a believer in myself that God is doing a thing in my life, I know then you will believe in yourself, that all things are possible. He's not just talking the talk. He's walking the walk. So help me God. I'm going, and I'm coming home, and I'm bringing you the best, because the best is yet to be. And so it is written, and so I have spoken it, and so you have heard it, and so it